3-Star Review Podcast, hosted by me, 7H3 Chazzy. We've got Trev. We've got our guest, Collin Deppe.
Deppe.
And Deppe?
Yes.
Deppe Man. I'm going to start just going to call you Deppe Don. Deppe Don or something. We'll come up with something clever for that, I swear. And then Chino will be on his way. He'll be on his way eventually. We have no ETA. He may be absent for the night. But let's hope that he gets here quickly. I'm waiting for his knock at the door.
Somebody told him he's gonna be a dad, so. So what are you up to, man?
Just chilling. What are you up to?
Well, alright. Like normally in the podcast, we start off kind of like monologue. So last week, well, let's see. Yeah, the last two episodes, I got stuck in it, which was cool.
What do you mean? I haven't watched this podcast, I don't know. Can you say
Yeah, dude, I don't blame me either, have I.
I think we're just a
Dude, I don't watch this shit.
Just a few episodes in, aren't we?
It's not like I watch this shit either, man. No. No, it's just kind of like, dude, we're trying to like dig into current events, and literally between, like 3 days to the next podcast, so much shit changes. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's not like, dude, I know last week we were touching on, well, hell, everything in current events, everything. I don't know if you saw I'm sure Chazzy got some stuff, dude. Did you see that white couple get their asses beat? Mm-hmm. Seriously.
No, I didn't. I don't try to stay up to current events. I don't know why. That's the one thing.
They're like uncurrent.
Yeah, they're like I try not to freaking stay up on top of that shit. I don't know why. It's just something that I really don't keep on top of. It's just not in my realm of, interest right now. It's really just like cars, weed,
alright.
Cars and the weed and freaking just me and my girlfriend, right now that's basically just like my life right now. And then on Tuesdays, it's D&D, So it's just like, that's basically just my life right now. It's just work, D&D, girlfriend, and hanging out with Chazzy over here.
Alright, so I actually had a couple things. I have a monologue, but I'm just rattling off bullet points. I just wanted to acknowledge the fact that obviously things are hard everywhere in the world right now.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't matter what sector you work in, how much you make, what you manage to do. It's hard right now.
It doesn't even matter what area of the world you live in right now. Not even matter of fact if you live in New York City or San Francisco, or you live right here, in local area of Nevada. It's still pretty hard for everyone out there. The economy is not doing very well right now, and freaking it's just terrible. A very bad economy right now.
This is a monologue. You don't have to respond to everything that I say, but I do appreciate your candor on wanting to hop in.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate it. You are. I do like your attitude. I just wanted to say that things will get better. Inevitably, things have to get better because obviously things can't stay bad forever, or the world wouldn't have its renaissances and its dark ages. This is the dark dawn that we've seen. This is going to be like right before the sun starts to come up, man. Like, I say at a time like this where it's like where there's tribulations all over the place, I'd say let love guide you, not fear. And speak up about injustice even if your voice shakes, because right now we need people seeking honesty and justice, no matter where you're at. If you've been wrong and you feel like you're on the back foot, speak up. Even if you're afraid to speak up, speak up. And I always like to round it off with, remember to be the change that you want to see in the world. If you want some change in the world, you got to be that change. Reflect the change that you want to see. And the blessings come after that. And I had one current event I wanted to touch on as well. Payment processors like Visa and MasterCard, they're censoring games by adjusting the terms of service systems that they've been using on Steam. Which pretty much has led to adult-themed games and stuff like that being taken off of Steam. the unfortunate reality of that is that it's not about just those games. That's how they start with censorship. You know, you censor something for they can say it's for the kids, but then once you stop these payment processors, they don't like the message that's been sent in this game. Someone donates, you know, a large sum of money to maybe the CEO of Visa, and suddenly it can become very corrupt, you know, very quickly. So I guess the question is that I have in regards to this current event is, should we be able to hold? How do we what do you think is the best way to hold a corporation accountable for something like this, for clearly going against the rights, which would in our country would technically be the First Amendment? How do you think that we should pursue corporations like this? Do you think that there's a way that we could do it?
What do you think?
What do you think? Obviously, you think that corporations should be held accountable for shit like this.
Yes, honestly, yes. But what consequence? I have no idea.
Yeah.
It depends on what level of, you know.
You know, the fucked up thing about a corporation is that at the end of the day, no one's personally accountable.
Mm-mm.
No one's personally accountable. And the second you have an S corporation, that's its own entity.
Yeah. But how is that okay? What's their end game? Like, why would they want to censor? But that's what I don't understand. Like a corporation.
You want to know something funny? Is that Visa responded and said, "Oh no, we don't do anything like that." They just totally shoved it off. They just totally shoved it off.
But what if I paid a different way? Like,
well,
how does Visa influence my games?
They're payment processors. So they can be like, "Oh hey, well, you're not going to process payments through your system." That's what I'm saying. I think the best course for
that's strong arming. That's straight up bullying the shit out of someone. It's like, yeah, you know that's the shit FIFA does.
Yeah.
You know, and they're notorious for doing that with countries.
FIFA's done by what, EA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about FIFA, not the game, just the fucking
the system of itself.
No, FIFA, the fucking the league.
Oh, the league.
The federation.
Oh, the actual like league of sports, like
you have soccer. Yeah, dude, they are like them. They have more money than the Vatican. They're more corrupt than like any government, 20 governments combined. Like it's some insane. You want to go down a rabbit hole?
My face when the FIFA league has more power than the EU.
They do. They do. That's what the craziest shit, dude. But my point being is that, okay, so your Visa, so what? It's like
MasterCard did it too, I think. Visa and MasterCard.
Then turn around and just say, okay, American Express, shut your mouths.
Could be subsidiaries. You know what I mean? But that's the thing is that, like, I think that they strong-armed them successfully because, like, they didn't want to be like, oh, hey, we're going to limit our audience's ability to purchase games.
What was the actual, like, strong arm? They're like, okay, you're going to take porno games off your
That's system. What they wanted to do because it was lobbied, I think, by, like, not lobbied, but, like, it was complained about to Visa by, like, this league of, like...
So if it stops there, though, is that...
It's done. It's already done.
No, I know, but you're worried that, okay, it's just going to keep going.
They can then if a corporation can influence another corporation like that without repercussions, and it literally violates the First Amendment, and these games aren't harming anybody. What the fuck is like what? What does it solve?
Well, did Steam turn around and say, hey, can we put these on like a adult only part of our platform?
It is on the adult only part of their platform.
And so they just had to take that shit off completely.
Completely down. Like we give these.
But if it stops there, okay. If like I know you're saying it's not going to, but if it theoretically stopped there, would that be just like game? Like you're cool with that?
Would I be cool with that?
Yeah.
No.
All right.
It's still an infringement on rights.
No, I get it. But
I mean, don't get me wrong.
They are taking porno games off
I'm not
like they're not. That's not the most evil shit.
I'm not gonna sit here and say,
oh, these motherfuckers, you better not take any more porno games.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it's not a.
No, that's the thing is like that's a really hard thing to defend against.
Exactly.
You know?
Like
It's a really hard thing to defend against, but at the end of the day, if you know what the system is going to do, if you know what they are doing.
Then at the end of the day, you're sitting down with your daughter. She's on your Steam app.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want her clicking over and seeing some porn games? Like, Daddy, what's that?
I wouldn't.
Shit, you gotta fucking go. You scroll through Netflix. That's a risk you gotta take.
Yeah.
That's a risk
Okay, but if you can alleviate the risk.
You can say that all day that it's just for the kids. Absolutely not. I can totally.
No, I'm
understand
just
that.
saying it's not just. I'm not saying just from your personal standpoint.
Uh-huh.
How would you feel? Like you wouldn't want your daughter just to run across that shit. In general.
You've pointed out something that's really important there is that like you're absolutely right. At the end of the day, me as a parent, that's my job to assess that risk.
Yeah.
Like I don't need some company stepping in and being like, "Ooh,
Correct. Yes.
I'm YT and I'm going to." Yeah. No, bro. I can. My daughter doesn't see that shit at all because you know why? I'm smart.
Yeah.
If I want to view any of that, 9 times out of 10. Doors locked, freaking room. I'm in my space.
Yeah.
I'm always in my space if I've been viewing anything like that.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want her to witness anything like that on my behalf.
Yeah.
I'm extremely careful about those sort of things. And I feel like it's any dutiful parent who actually gives a fuck about their kids.
Right.
It's their job. It's their job.
How many of those?
Well, not many people fucking look into.
But then if you want to extend that, then I mean like should the government be taking care of your kids at that point? Like,
but they fucking do. It seems like.
Yeah,
no,
they want to They want to act like they're high and fucking mighty about it, right?
Yeah. Yes.
They want to give themselves. They want to freaking jerk themselves off. Oh my god! Oh, I'm such a good government. Oh man, I'm such a good government. Oh, dude. These fucking guys, they don't know shit. They don't know shit about us. Oh, yes. How much would it bum them out?
Oh yeah, we're saving a lot.
Oh my god, that's 3 trillion more for the budget. Oh,
that's B with the. That's billions with a B.
With a B.
No, with a B.
Oh, we're fast approaching the T.
No, but at the end of the day, I think companies should be held accountable. But do you think they ever will? Fuck no.
Let's say that's okay. So I have a question.
You know, my only point to all of that was like, right? If they were stepping in and like flat out hurting our First Amendment rights, like really bad, maybe I would be more interested in it. But
So
they're just taking porn off.
So just to be a devil's advocate, right?
Right.
Just to be a devil's advocate right here on my side in response to that is, oh, we took down games back then and you were okay with that. The everything that was already signed in, you guys didn't complain back then. All this was put in place. That's what the government does. They'll say, oh, this was signed in back in 2017. And you can look back and there's shit for COVID. It was passed by the Obama administration. There was shit for COVID, SARS, long before COVID-19 came out. So like, that's the kind of shit that they'll do if we don't hold these people accountable. I mean, yeah, you can say porno and all that. You can say that's gross. Yeah, that's pretty gross. A lot of
but that's I mean, it's way different from the government than from a corporation. Just like flat out Visa, they're also running the risk that hey, if we're gonna strong arm these guys, we could take some backlash.
They're saying
probably not for taking porn off.
You know what they said on Visa's responses. They said it was like, oh, we're only committed to stopping payments in the form of if they're illegal payments, and it's like, okay, well. Steam requires you to have an age verification anytime that you go onto a game.
Doesn't every store not want illegal payments? Like, that's...
Well, no, that's like that. But that's what they were trying to say was like, oh, they were totally ignoring the fact that they were being called out. Like the whole response from Visa was just absolutely tone deaf. And it was like they didn't even want bad. The thing is, they don't want bad press about this, but like there should be bad press
They're
about
getting
it.
bad press, but they should be getting bad
Yeah.
press. But
Yeah, I want to follow this one for the next few days because the fact that it actually passed, like we need to fucking be like, someone needs to hold them accountable.
Then they may pay the price. That's
Yeah.
my point. Is that if it's the government, you're fucked.
Well, I feel like
Because as much as you complain, it doesn't matter.
honestly, with Gabe Newell and the way that Steam is, honestly, we should be boycotting Steam.
Yeah.
We should be boycotting Steam
I don't
for
use
allowing.
I don't use Steam.
I will stop. I'm a heavy Steam user, and if he doesn't do something about it, I will walk away from the platform and go to something like Galaxy Games or G2A. I can do that.
Yeah, I don't know any of them. See, the thing is, I'm not a gamer or a PC gamer, but once in a while, I'll hop on, my Xbox or whatever. That's completely different. But the thing is, like, I never was into Steam games or I never was into a PC game. I was always on to, like, online browser games, like a website where you could go on and you could play, like, just the games on that website, But I understand, like, you want to support some... I get the whole idea of Steam. I really do. Like, I get it. I really do. But it's just not for me. And then when a company says, hey, you can't do this, or you can't, I don't fuck with them, So, like, even though
It's not a
Steam...
big deal for you because you're not on the platform.
Yeah, but it still hurts me because, like, I wanted to, But now it diverts me from not ever going on that platform again because, that thing.
Well, I think it's no coincidence that this is happening right before Xbox is getting ready to debut its new console. It's gonna have like
Really?
PC shit on it.
What?
Yeah, it's like it's a console that's gonna have
Really?
like you can run Steam and shit on it. I don't think it's coincidence. Like I definitely think this is definitely some backdoor behind the scenes bullshit, But in any event,
Right.
just to round that back out, be the change that you want to see in the world, man. I mean, in regards to that guy, like you want to fix that right there. Don't spend any money on Steam. You can go and play the games that you own. You can play those. Don't buy another thing through Steam. Don't do it. Don't use your Visa card on Steam.
Yeah.
Torrents.
Torrent if you need. Well, actually, I won't condone piracy.
I do.
Okay, well, we can't on the platform. It's an illegal activity. But to say the least, I mean, piracy's on the rise. I don't do it personally, but I mean, like.
I was joking.
Okay.
We're allowed to joke.
No, we're not. This is the fun police. Get down here. So serious topics.
On this platform, we can't say things facetiously.
You can. Yeah, go pirate. You wouldn't download a car. One of the worst best ad campaigns in retrospect, right? Because think of the memes now, right? But like honestly, it literally encouraged people to go look out what piracy was. Because most people didn't know what piracy was. You had to know someone,
Right.
The second that you put some kind of label out there on the main screen is like, oh hey, well, other people are doing that. What is this? And then they go find it. It's all about the discovery of it.
Well, see, not to like incriminate myself, but like once at a point in time, I had jailbroken iPhones and stuff like that, jailbroken devices, and just like one of the things that people were super well known about jailbreaking was piracy. Let's be open front and honest about it. Well, a lot of people who own iTunes and Apple products back in the day, if you wanted a song off iTunes, you would have to pay $1.29 for that song. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
It's why a lot of people pirated music from Apple, from iTunes, whatever, back in the day. LimeWire, blah, 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 all that shit. It used to become super fucking popular. But now, freaking, I don't know, it's just like so different. Now you just pay like a subscription to like Apple Music and you get all the music, that you want for your Spotify, whatever. It's just like completely different. Like, I still think piracy is out there. I just think it's different forms, like movies and just like other forms. I just don't think it's songs. I just don't know though, What are your inputs on like piracy and
With my input on it? I mean, I did it for years.
well, yeah, I did too. Like
I don't have anything that I used to pirate, but I mean, like, I used to pirate a lot.
Yeah.
And and when you're poor, like,
Of course.
you have to.
Of course, yeah.
Like, you can't afford to go do things.
No.
Like, my mom was like drunk on the reggae, bro.
Oh shit.
And so like, yeah, dude. So
Drunk on
like
the
in high
reggae?
school,
Oh, shit.
I'm running my dinky ass fucking old computer, fucking laptop, and of course, what do I do? Well, I'm gonna go and get all the games that I can, and thank God I did pirate. Because there are so many games that I would not have had the time to experience. Fallout 4, freaking, and then you know the great thing is that after, because I played these games, because I pirated these games, I went and bought them.
Yeah.
I went and bought them because I thought they were such great games. I was like, oh, it really was worth my money. And so I went and bought them.
It's almost kind of like their demos.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying, like, see, that's why I advise, like, pirate, but I do, like, you know, if there was a way that games or companies or, like, people out there could give, like, a demo, like a 30-day demo or, like, a blah, blah, like, hour demo, so then, like, people could try the game, like, a really, really
that
through and
used
through.
to be a thing where you would download demos and you play, like, the first level of games.
Really?
Remember that?
Really? I
They
didn't
just
know
don't do that anymore.
Wow.
I remember
That's
a
crazy.
time when I had
Yeah,
I had
you would
Xbox
just play the
360.
first level.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
you had demo discs.
Yeah.
What? That's crazy.
That had
Holy shit.
6, 7, maybe even 8 different demos on it.
Yeah,
And you go in, some of them are really
That's
good.
crazy, dude. I grew up with, like, Ataris.
See, at my old coworker's house, the old job I used to work at, we used to go to game nights.
When you're blowing on
We
cartridges.
used to play Atari, we used to play the Centipede, then we used to play Joust, and then like next we would play
Adventure.
what was the after the Atari? It was like Sega CD or Sega Genesis.
No, then it was NES.
Yeah, NES.
The NES.
It was
Genesis
yeah.
after that.
Yeah, and then
The
we
8-bit
played
NES
and then
with
we
Super Mario.
played Sega CDs, Sega
Yeah.
Genesis, dude. Freaking, we played so many like 80s and 90s games consoles, dude. I freaking love that shit, bro.
The first console I remember playing on distinctly was the
NES?
The NES.
Yeah.
It was the NES, and then we got the
64?
SNES, and then we got the 64.
Yeah, the 64.
And
Yeah, I
then,
remember the
and
64.
then we got. Then I had a GameCube, and the
Yeah,
GameCube,
the GameCube.
The GameCube was everything.
Yes, the GameCube was fucking.
I
everything.
played so.
I remember the PS1. The PS1.
I had to play. I played. You know what I played on the PS1?
The slim one.
Oh yeah, the
Yep.
and I played Resident Evil 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I played Grand Theft Auto.
I played Grand Theft Auto with the fucking car from the top where you just crashing cars and shit.
Yep. That was me. Fixed it, bro. That's crazy. What did you play? What was your first game that you remember playing? But that you didn't pirate. They didn't pirate.
Oh, I've never bought a game in my life.
Oh shit. Always pirated.
Yeah, I mean, that's all they do in South America, too.
It's an art form. I mean, why not? I mean, and the thing
It's
is,
an art form.
well, no,
He's right.
but honestly though, like in all reality, in other countries, it costs more than it does here to buy those things.
Really?
Yeah,
They don't take care of
$50, which is like the price here for something.
They'll
that's a
jump it up to
game.
like 72.
No, it's $50 down there, but $50 is like 2 weeks' salary
Yeah.
for somebody. It's like, that's no joke. The only times we've played video games that were original is when we were with the drug dealers.
Yeah.
Or at my place, you know.
I think if I end up making a game, I would want it to be able to be purchased, anywhere for a decent price. Maybe free to play it. And then you put
See, what I don't-
like a
what I
spot
don't
where you
like
can go
is
in the
freaking-
game,
I get, let's talk about freaking game longevity. Cause you know how Grand Theft Auto, dude, freaking Grand Theft Auto 5 has been like the top game, freaking,
Yeah.
dude, ever since fucking that shit released, But dude, it's crazy how freaking much money they continue to rake in, DLC after DLC after DLC after, dude. Freaking, you know how many people still play that game to this date?
Yeah.
Dude, and it's how many years old, bro, you know what I'm saying? Dude, it's freaking crazy, and I bet you the minute that new game drops, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it's gonna be as what, as what everyone thinks it's gonna be,
Not if they're gonna. I'll tell
Just
you
because
what.
of the rumors.
it depends-
Rumors ruined it. I
depends-
think the rumors ruined it.
I think I agree with you, only because there's a reason that Half-Life 3 has never come out.
Really?
Yeah, there's a
Why?
reason. They would never live up to the expectations that people have generated. It
Yeah.
took way too long.
Yeah.
It took way too long. I feel like
So I think GTA 6 is gonna be exactly like that game.
I
It's
think.
like bringing a Command and Conquer
This is-
out
yeah.
now.
Oh, dude, if they brought Command and Conquer out, I'd play the shit out
Or
of it.
StarCraft.
StarCraft, I don't know about StarCraft, but if they brought a new Command and Conquer game out that was like Command and Conquer Tiberium Wars, I'd play the fucking shit out of that game. Command and Conquer is
Yeah,
one of
but
my
like
favorites.
totally new, like 2026.
I'd play it. The first I played the original Command and Conquer.
Using AI for all those videos and shit.
The games that I grew up on were Crash
That
Bandicoot.
sounds so fucking low budget. I don't even want to hear it.
Crash Bandicoot, Pac-Man, and Need for Speed.
That's the kind of shit that Microsoft's trying to do. Microsoft's downplaying its studios trying to use AI to build games, and I'm like, you're a fucking idiot, Microsoft. People don't want your AI game golly slop.
I know, but there are fucking like 400-pound, my 400-pound wife or whatever, like sitting there crushing some Candy Crush, and they're happy.
Crushing some Candy Crush on level 2042.
No argument here.
Okay, so you pump out a dumb shit game that's just like, I don't know. Gosh,
It's got a reward system that somehow manages to get you your dopamine.
You don't even need to no, it just needs to be like Cupcake Crush. Like, it's like, oh,
That's
sweet, yeah, like
Cupcake Clash.
Point.
Coin place. That's the trademark.
There's enough of those people that it's monetarily worth it, even if they gain a penny per person, which is so pathetic.
I guess the main thing nowadays, what directs the AI though? You know what I mean? Because if they try to use industry trends to direct AI, you're gonna have the most dog shit fucking games that there ever were. Because the industry doesn't even know what kind of games they want right now. The industry doesn't even know what kind of games they want to make.
Bro, you know the best game was freaking. I like playing Sleeping Dogs. Sleeping Dogs was.
Dude, Sleeping Dogs is
great.
such an underrated game. Like
Sleeping Dogs was such an underrated game.
The combat. The combat. It's got like that Batman Gotham
That's what
like
I'm
combat,
saying, bro.
but it's gritty. You can take a dude slam him through an air vent,
That's
and
what
then
I'm
you get
saying,
eaten up
dude.
by the fucking fan, bro.
That's
Like
what I'm
it's fucking
saying,
nuts.
and I just love how
it's a cop shooter.
Yeah, and I love how you can hack into other people's brains and hack into remember that shit? You can hack into people, freaking you know what I'm saying, use telepathy, and dude, it was fucking sick, dude.
Are you talking about Watch Dogs or Sleeping Dogs?
Oh, I'm sorry, Watch Dogs and both of them, dude. Both
Watch
of them.
Dogs is
You're
great.
mixing the two.
I know.
Yeah, no wonder.
I was like, Watch
Sorry.
Dogs is fucking
Yeah,
sick.
Watch Dogs and the other game, both of them were fucking
Severely
sick.
underrated.
It's like where you're running through Fallujah and you're shooting the motherfuckers, and then you decapitate a dude, and you're like.
It's actually modern day Call
You're
of
like
Duty.
fatality, so it's like, oh, that's Mortal Kombat and Call of Duty combined. Oh shit, I mixed them.
Well, anywho, as we can get into your interview, Collin, where were you born?
Pocatello, Idaho.
And
Pocatello, Idaho.
I don't know, Potato State, you're a potato man.
Yeah, potato through and through.
You know, whenever I get depressed, I just eat some fucking potatoes. Sometimes it's clear potatoes juiced in a jar, and sometimes it's French fried potatoes in some oil, but I fuck with some potatoes. And then I wanted to add...
Some potatoes.
In case you were interested.
Give me some Chaz commentary. Alright, what you work in the same industry that me and Trev do, same business that we do. What were you doing before?
I was doing construction.
You were doing construction. Were you doing it locally out here, or what brought you to Mesquite, Nevada, buddy?
The drive, dude. Driving the gorge or driving that mountain range into St. George, Washington City every single day for construction. Literally back-breaking work. I was building fences, chain link fences, wooden fences, any type of fence you could ever freaking think about for your yard or for your property or for anything. That's what I'd be doing. I'd be digging holes. I'd be in the machine, freaking carrying heavy pipe, carrying heavy material, and it was just what pushed me over the edge was they was having me carry material up the mountainside, and I was just like, mad about that shit,
the legs in the
Dude,
back, bro.
yes, and freaking that material's not light, especially
What
when
kind of fences?
this style fence was called T-post fence for cows and to keep cows out of the trees and shit, but it was 10-foot high T-posts. And the material was 4 foot, and then you had to take another 4 foot and put in the 4 foot. Dude, it was so much work, and I was like, dude, I could be freaking in Mesquite, doing something
I could that shit right there.
You know what I'm saying? Dude, I could freaking go to Mesquite and work for you know, so much better. And dude, and I just like applied at Mesquite, you know, the whatever, and freaking where we work. And I was just very thankful and just like very lucky that, you know, the people who I interviewed with me, I was in a different department, you know, whatever, and they just took a chance on me, honestly. I just told them everything I was passionate about, what I was, and who I am, whatever, and they just like, all right, well, we'll give you a call back literally the next day.
You know, that's exactly why I love our bosses, man, is the fact that
I didn't even know like how to do the job, but I told them like I knew what
passions.
I knew what an eighth looked like, I knew what a 7 gram looked like, I knew what an ounce looked like, and they're like, okay.
Like we're probably talk to them about terpenes and shit.
Yep.
If you show them your passion for cannabis, they will
and freaking they're like, all right, bet you like you know what you sound like, and then like we'll give you an answer like later today, and then like they did, and I took the job, and I've been with that company ever since. They've never fucked me over. They've never done anything bad to me. Like I'm one of the lucky ones where I can say I've gotten really, really lucky there.
Me too. You
because,
know,
like, that job has
honestly,
given me everything.
Me too.
Everything, bro.
No, bro, because like I'm right there with you. Like I'm so grateful for where we're at.
I used to make $18.50 in construction, and then I would drop down to from $18.50 to $15 an hour making joints. And then I said, you know what? I had an asthma attack in the back, and that's what's sitting me up front. I had 2 asthma attacks, almost killed myself working for this company. I almost literally died working for this company. And literally, John Marshall's like, dude, you almost died here at work. We cannot have you over here. You do a great job on the back, but we cannot have you over here, Collin. You have to be a bartender. I was like, that's fine. I put my position in. He's like, oh, you did? Good. I'll go talk to the manager right now, and we'll get you set up for a freaking interview. So, dude, and I told him that, and freaking he talked to Danny. Danny talked to everyone, and freaking they got me immediate. Bro. Snap of the finger. I was over the next day already interviewing, bro. Like, freaking, they accommodated me so well, and dude, I just love that company.
I absolutely adore, I when I left.
Yeah.
When I left and quit.
Of course.
It was not good circumstances.
Yeah.
It was not, but my whole life was upside down at that point. I had really bad issues here at home.
Yeah.
I told, you know what I did is I sent an email to Roberta.
Yeah.
I told her everything that was going on, and I apologized for the way I left. And she said, well, under certain circumstances, employees are allowed to apply back. She said, I'll get back to you. And she got back to me and said, we'll let you start applying again.
Well.
And then after I started applying again, I was really appreciative because Robert's wife was working with me at the casino.
Mm-hmm.
And she was telling me anytime, hey, there was a job opening, you know, she was letting me know.
Damn, that's a crazy connection.
And the universe, the universe always does that to me.
I know, and that's.
I didn't even know where Robert's wife is.
And so, like, I put in an application. I applied back to Deep Roots. I think 3 or 4.
That's a sign and a half. Like,
yeah.
You ignore that stuff, like, then when you get struck by lightning, like, don't look at me.
My life is full of those moments, and that's why do you ever notice that's why I'm so on edge? Is because I'm always trying to find the meaning in everything, because there's always a meaning in something.
Well, and then you're also questioning everything a little bit too much.
Yeah. But also I wanted to ask you, tell me about if you were given $7 million right now.
Yeah.
And you could go do anything in the world with it, no restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do?
World hunger, for peace.
Maybe you would go in pursuit of actually going to help somebody with that money.
Mm-hmm.
Your first instinct is to go help with someone.
Immediately, yeah.
That's pretty impressive. You know, a lot of people would be like, oh, I put a little bit of money here, I put a little bit of money there. I do this with it.
The world needs help more than we need help.
Would you, like, plan it out? Talk
Yes,
to somebody? Okay,
yeah.
how would that go down?
Would you go, you know what, I'm gonna piggyback off you, because I'm the same way. You know, the first thing that I would do with it right here in town, I'd open up a soup kitchen.
Yeah.
That's the first move. Is I want. There's homeless people out here, and you know that we see them where we work.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow they manage to scrape enough money to freaking come get some weed, you know.
See, what I want to do is I want to build like a place where they can come to work,
Mm-hmm.
come work there,
Mm-hmm.
and somehow the government can pay them So, you know what I'm saying? Like some government funding,
Well,
like whatever.
I mean, like,
You know what I'm saying?
ideally, we would do like you would have to have like some way to fund that in the
You
future.
can create a business, and as long as your overhead meets your sales or your revenue.
Have some place where they can come and work and be like.
If you just balance it out to zero, if your idea is to help people but not make $1 off of it, let it balance out.
Yeah.
So that still get paid.
Yeah, things get moved, things happen, but there has to be an economical side to everything. You can't just like go out and say, okay, you know, I want to help these people out. I want to end hunger, so I'm just gonna like. Some of these dudes, it gets a little irritating. Your fucking videos, going and buying like 40 hot dogs and 40 pizzas and just taking them out of the poor people. Like, that's cool. I get it. Just, if you just didn't show it, or if you saw it from somebody else showing it.
Stopped it, maybe.
Yeah, if you quit making a show out of it, like, and maybe if that's the way to get donations so they pay for it, I get it.
I don't know. I feel like I'd be more like the humanitarian, as I would really like help people out, like walk up to the people who are on the streets, like, okay, like, what do you really need to get your back, like turn around 360? Like, what do you need? Do you need like place to stay? Do you like?
Gosh, you trust people?
Like, no, it's not that I don't trust them. And I would actually like sit down with them and be like, okay, do you really want this or do you not want this? Like, what do you really want? Do you need the help? Do you want the help? Do you not want the help? Like, what do you really want? Are you really trying, or do you not want? Do you really want to live on the street? Like, I really ask them all these questions, you know, because like I feel some people really do need help.
I find that really admirable. You know? I find that admirable because, you know, a lot of people don't think that way.
No,
I do my best to kind of I'm right there with you. There have been so many opportunities in my life where people needed money.
It's just like I feel like if I was in that position, like I would want someone
looking out for me.
Exactly,
you know?
exactly.
You know what I mean? Someone's got their tire popped on the side of the road. You know, if I don't have anything going on, I'll stop. I'll stop.
Yeah,
and be like, hey, are you okay? If I notice that there's no one there helping them, I stop.
For real.
I mean, there was a time when I was down in Texas. And this was when me and my ex were together, and we were driving through. We were driving on the 820 South, and they're always doing construction on the 820 South.
Yeah, I think that's just like the lyrics to a country song.
820 South.
No, when I was down in Texas on the 820 South.
Write that shit down.
Write that down.
That's a good fucking song. Genius.
But like when I was going down, you know,
Texas on the 820 South.
there was a lot of construction happening. It was the middle of the night, and I remember there was just like, we could see there was broken glass and like debris on the road, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I saw there was hazards on, and this lady was like stuck in the middle of the intersection. And my ex turns to me, she says, just keep going, just keep going. I said, fuck no. I said, we're stopping to make sure that everything's okay. There's no police here. There's no ambulance here. I'm going to make sure they're all right. I roll up on this lady. I roll up on her. And she's bigger. Definitely a big lady. We're in the South, right? We're in Texas here. Yeah, it's Texas. There's some big motherfuckers there.
When he says bigger, that like Texas big?
I mean,
like double what you're thinking big.
Yeah, I don't know how the fuck this chick got in the car.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
And that's not even abnormal.
No, that's a normal thing in Texas.
Yeah, that's.
But she was sitting there screaming. She was sitting there screaming, and I was like, "Oh my god! Like, are you okay?" And like, she was like, "I can't get to my phone. I can't call the ambulance and the police." And I'm like, she was like, I need to call someone. And I'm like, I'm immediately on my phone. I'm like, hey, this is where we're at. This is the exit we're in between. And this lady, we need some paramedics now. And the guy that hit her was in this Jeep. His Jeep didn't look like it was touched at all. But this poor lady, the back rear end of her car, bam, smacked hard, like real hard. They had to use the jaws of life to break open the car.
Your ex is like, just keep going.
I know, right?
Like,
as if there was a big enough red flag right there. Yeah. We were still together for years after that. I'm as an idiot. I'm not an idiot because I had the best thing that ever came out of it. I got the best thing that could ever come out of a situation like that. she's so amazing. You know.
No, that's of course.
Yeah, I mean, like she made me.
No, but
to have
that attitude, yeah.
But no, back to the survey activation. I would help people out. I don't see what that's gonna be.
Respect. I mean, that's. I'm just trying to tie that right back in. It's like I'm always trying to help people out. You know.
No, I'm trying to help people out too, because like freaking like there was one point in time in my life where I was down bad and freaking no one would help me and freaking I just like felt like if I don't and then I met the right people and it just like I don't know, like I feel like I just met the right people.
I feel like definitely everything. I'm kind of like a right person, right kind of time guy.
Yeah.
You know. Everything in my life seems to occur like that.
I'm not selfish. I would rather help people more than help myself, because I feel like that it all comes back in return.
I'm a firm believer in whatever you give comes back tenfold. You know.
Yeah.
I'm still like sitting
I
here.
feel like something will pop up.
As long as you do it,
Yeah.
not for that reason.
No,
Yeah,
I always tell myself like when I'm
Do
going
it from the
through it.
heart.
It's never like this time I was
Well, my heart's pretty evil, so.
Yes, my heart.
Maybe go with what you think would
Like
be
if
good.
I can get tenfold out of something, like I'm thinking investing.
This fucking
I'm a karma investor.
Well, okay, so there was this guy at I went to Roberto's after I'd gone to the gym because I was going to the gym on the daily when I was working in the gaming industry. And then I'm always trying to pack on carbs, so my ass is rolling down the hill to get me one of those fucking fat ass burritos and some taquitos,
Right.
water. Well, I'm rolling up, and I see this cat walking around the parking lot off to the right, and it's not a whole lot of developed land out there, but he was walking over there, and then I could see that he was actually bringing his shit up to the front of the front of the building for Roberto's. I think it looked to me like he was trying to get out of the shade or something. And I went inside. I ordered my food, and then I saw him after I ordered my food, and I walked out and I said, "Hey man, can I do something for you? Can I get you a meal?" And so he was like, "Oh, dude, I could really use something to eat." And then so he sat down and I talked with him and kind of got to hear his story a little bit. And he told me he was like, he was telling me that he was locked out of his car, that he was kind of like stranded at this moment. He was from like a northern Utah, like not northern Utah, but like in between Salt Lake and like Cedar, And he said he was just trying to get back home. And I said, "What would it take for you to get back home?" And he said, "Well, I think it was like something like $250, $260.
Yeah.
And so I thought about it. For like I didn't even say anything to him, and I said I might be back. And so I got my food. And I left. But I had gotten his food for him. And so I went across the street to Walmart, and I pulled $250 out of the America First ATM. And I went back across the street, and I walked in and I gave him the money. And he said, "Oh my gosh." He wanted to give me this painting, this small little painting in a frame, as payment. And I was like, "No, man." I was like,
That's when it's like real to that. Like they're not bullshitting you.
Well, that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to sell me the.
They have no idea how to respond to it. That they're like, "Take my arm," and you're like, "No, dude, don't cut your arm off."
And then he's like, "Well, he's like, can I at least put you on my TikTok?" And so I said, "Okay," and I did he gave me a shout out on TikTok, and I was like, "Hey," he's like, "Chaz just saved Chaz just saved my life." He's like, "Plug yourself, Chaz," and so I gave out like my information and stuff like that. And sometimes I don't think about that. I didn't do it because I wanted to see some sort of return or something on it. I did it out of kindness in my heart. I'm wondering when those connections are going to start coming back around, and people are going to be like, "Oh, that's the guy. That's the guy that did this. That's the guy that did that for me." But maybe it didn't mean a whole lot during the time. But like they'll realize it when I'm like when I'm at where I'm. Once I'm at that next level shit, once the group is up there, I'm wondering. I wonder if like that. If people are gonna remember me like that, you know? Do you think they'll remember?
Oh, you know, because people don't ever remember.
Yeah, I have a hard enough time remembering faces as it
Yeah,
is.
but there's certain moments in life that you will always remember. Like certain people that are just out of nowhere, maybe like just did something like that, and you'll never forget.
I know there's a couple of customers that I remember right at the top of my head, just because like every time they come in, they're just like, I don't know, this just because of the way I am or the way they are, and just the way we click. They're freaking. There's a lot of people that tell me that I do my job very good and I do it very, very like on point. You know what I'm saying?
Like I'm gonna devil's advocate you
But it's
here.
like, but then at the same time, it's like, no, I really don't. Like,
I think you do a great job. I think you do a great job. However, there was this one couple, and and I'm not gonna like. I know for a fact that it was the couple and not you. I don't remember their name, but they got. Honestly, I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
But they wanted to start talking shit about you at my register. They were like, we've known Collin for a long time, and he's changed. And then his wife was like starting to say like, yeah, not necessarily for the bet. And I stopped him in the ether, and I was about to be like, I don't want to fucking hear that shit about my friend.
Yeah.
And if they were gonna start talking smack to my face about you, I would have listened to hear what they had to say. Just because I would want to tell you, because obviously you've done the same for me.
Of course.
But I mean, like, these fucking, I'm like, and these fucking two yokels were fucking, had Mike sitting behind the display case, mad dogging him, eyeballing him. He radios me as they come up to my register. Keep an eye on these two chisel. And I'm like, these guys waited for me. Like, they're one of my regulars. They waited for me. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You know what I mean? Like, anyways, these two guys, I'll never put names out there.
Was it a guy and girl?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a couple. It was a couple. I won't describe or anything. We don't have to go anything past that, obviously, because of where we work. But I'll describe situations about work. I just won't talk about who's there.
No, I already know who it is. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, fucking those two.
Actually, the funny thing is, those two people,
Mhm.
they haven't even texted me. They haven't even called me. They haven't even been by the store since fucking.
Isn't it great working in our fucking industry where people will try to hit you up just when they need fucking weed?
Bro, no. See, the thing is, I should never let down my card, but fucking these people really needed help one day. Cause they came into the store and dude, fucking, I tried to help them out every single fucking. You know, I see people take change from the tip jar, you know, whatever. Dude, I had maybe $1 or $2 in my pocket, and I just got from lunch. Okay, you know, I pulled $1 or $2 in my pocket. Okay? And these two people, a husband and a wife, came in. Out here before, like people would come in, you know.
You've seen these guys before when
Yeah.
you worked in, like, you probably worked in, what were you doing, like food or something?
Yeah, I was doing food. Yeah.
Okay, so like you, obviously, you know, shit, dude. I've come back from my fucking breaks, you know, and fucking. I've covered taps before, like
Yeah,
that.
I've covered, like,
but
dude,
is that what you did?
Yeah, basically, it's just like a couple dollars, bro. But
Yeah.
basically, freaking, they come back like every fucking time, bro. They'll wait in line just especially for me.
Yeah.
And dude, and freaking, I told them basically like one of these times, like I could hook them up, and freaking now they call me on the regular. Hey, can you hook me up? Oh, hey, can you come bring stuff to me? I'm like, no, like I'm not doing that. Like that's not me. I'm not gonna get fired. Like freaking, that's not me. Like you gotta come to the store. You gotta be a regular customer now. Like blah blah blah.
It's crazy that if you have that kind of history with someone, even from working somewhere else, that they'll come in and they'll try
And
to
dude,
take
it's like,
advantage
bro,
of it.
like freaking, like I don't even work there anymore. Like now you're coming to my new job and
Yeah.
shit, and trying to ask for new
Yeah,
discounts.
exactly. Like what
It's
the
like,
fuck? What the fuck is?
It's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, I don't even work there anymore, and like, I can't even control these prices over here. So like, what the fuck are you even doing, like, bro? And freaking, it makes me feel uncomfortable. So it's like, bro, like, what the fuck? But I haven't even seen them I haven't even seen them around.
It's fucking
So
ridiculous.
it's like, bro, it's like, fuck, dude. And it's just, I don't know. I just don't like how people freaking, they'll try to fucking get every little fucking penny out of you. They'll try to get more than what they, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
they'll
I feel like no, like we see so many people in there that'll just take advantage of shit.
Yes.
You got to be careful with some people because you get people an inch, they'll take a mile. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
I got this motherfucker coming for every time. He want the bag, Charlie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yep.
And he's not the only one. He's not the only one.
No.
I have seen many people that come in. Why am I getting charged for the bag? Fuck you getting charged for the bag. Did you bring the bag back? More than anything, it's a personal thing for me because it's like, hey, bro, I care about the environment so much that I got a stack of bags in my house because I refuse to throw those fuckers away. You see the recycling sit over on my stairs. I won't throw that shit away. I'll go take that over there. That's how much I give a shit.
Yeah.
So I'm going to charge your ass for the bag. I'm going to charge your ass for the bag because it's not hard for you to remember to bring a bag back. There's only one reason that you don't have that bag, and it's that you probably chucked it the second you fucking pulled out of the parking lot. Seen people, they used to be on the side of the road and shit.
I know. That's why we do the cleanup.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is, for me, I actually honestly do forget the bag sometimes. And fucking.
Oh shit! So do I. Sometimes I charge people when they bring their bag back.
I've done that too.
See, the thing is, anyways, so these people came in and specifically today, it was like $2 or $3 short, and I turned to Mary. I said, "Sorry, they was 50 cents short, bro." And they was trying to use a debit card. I said, "Look," I said, "dude, it's gonna charge you $8 for a debit card." He's like, "What? $8?" I said, "Yeah, just for 50 cents, dude." I said, "Go up to your car, try to get some more money." So he literally went out to the car, grabbed a whole bunch of change. And I said, it's not going to change the fact that that it's going to be, it is what it is. You just have to go pay fucking more money or yeah, dude, don't pay with a card.
I always tell people, it's kind of annoying that it authorizes like an ATM.
People are cheap as fuck, dude, and I hate it. If you don't have the money, don't fucking come, dude. You get it? You know what I'm saying?
We're at fucking Mesquite, Nevada, bro. Like, obviously, like, we're going to be fucking... We're gonna deal with some broke ass motherfuckers.
Like, bro, I've lived in fucking St. George since.
But that just goes back to what we were talking about earlier. It doesn't matter where you're at right now. It's fucking hard.
Dude, I lived in St. George in this area since 1999. Okay, I moved to freaking St. George, Utah when I was 1999. I was 4 years old when I moved to freaking St. George, Utah. Mm-hmm. I remember so 96, 97, 98. Yeah, I remember it being 1999 and then staying up until the year 2000. Because I remember on the clock it was 9999. 29 years old.
You remember back that far?
Yes, bro. I remember.
Memory.
Dude, yes, I have a very good memory. Freaking, I remember going with my dad on like trucking trips because my dad was a truck driver. Yeah. He'd always take me on truck driver trips because he used to haul cattle and cows and pigs and freaking. I have a great memory, bro. So anyways, freaking, I lived in
back in 99. You're 28, so you're born in 97?
Yeah, I was born in 96.
96.
Yeah.
I wonder if I remember some shit back from like the 90s, but like.
Dude, I remember just like watching like your cartoons and.
I just remember
I'm staying out of this conversation.
The cartoons that I remember, like definitely like
Thomas the Train and freaking.
Thomas the Tank.
Thomas the Tank, yeah.
Dude, Bob the Builder.
Bob the Builder.
Bob the Builder was my
and
shit.
And freaking Blue's Clues was what I remember.
Blue's Clues was Steve, bro.
Yep.
Steve was like home.
And then
remember when Joe came on?
I fucking hated Joe. And then Barney.
Barney was dope. It was Bob the Builder. And
Dora.
Hey Arnold. Hey Arnold.
Mine, yes, most Hey Arnold on mine was a little bit of Hey Arnold. No, my mom didn't like Rugrats. It was Hey Arnold, SpongeBob, and frickin' fucking Cartoon Network.
You guys remember DVR?
Yes.
You guys remember when DVR was still on the tapes and you had to record on the tapes?
Yes. Anyways, but I remember living in freaking, like, literally, like, I remember, like, moving away from St. George, like, right when you go from, like, middle school to intermediate, so that's, like, 5th grade, moving into 6th grade, I moved back to Idaho because my dad was sick, and, basically, I lived in St. George for so long, I've seen St. George, like, completely transfer.
Yeah.
I've seen Mesquite completely transfer 180 degrees.
It used to be completely different.
Freaking crazy.
It was tiny out here.
Dude, it was so tiny out here. It was so tiny in 2015, bro. You could literally freaking drive from one part of Mesquite to the other in fucking 15 minutes, bro.
Yeah, but you also remember that there were only like 3 or 4 stoplights in the whole fucking
town. Yeah.
These last these 4 have been put in just close to us in this last year.
I know.
The
that's
universe
what I'm saying.
but like, honest to fucking God, out here we needed those
Yeah,
lights.
we
There's
did.
so many accidents
Oh,
that were
yeah.
happening in those
Yeah.
areas. Especially that one right up there by Walmart.
Yeah.
And then the one down the hill from Walmart.
Yeah.
It's just awesome being in towns where like you're competing with golf carts and razors.
Yeah. It's not,
You have
hard
any other
it's, not,
questions,
it's, not, it's not hard for me to step on the gas down the
Right.
street and
Right.
actually
any
we're
other
just
questions about my childhood, about my upbringing, my growing up, or whatever?
I would like to say more than anything
Like, I don't know.
I want to know what do you think if you were looking at your life from this standpoint right now as the present point being the destination, what would be that climax point,
Like climax?
that like ride that what do you think sent you there's a few different things I call catalysts in my life
Mm-hmm.
that are like things that spurred like massive amounts of growth. What's one of those catalysts in your life? Something as maybe a situation or something happened to you that sent you on like a huge journey of change quickly.
I don't know. I know just something just clicked, and I don't know. I haven't really figured out what it was.
Well, you didn't mention your girl.
Well, yeah, but my girl freaking has always been with me for 9.5 years. Freaking.
Well, that's kind of a,
That's probably what started you, eh?
yeah.
I mean, dude, it's just she used to live in California, and I just like wanted to. Dude, when COVID hit, it's been a rough 5 years, bro. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a rough 5 years. Okay.
Thanks.
When COVID hit, I was living in California. I had a good job. I was making money, and I had a warrant out for my arrest. I had a bench warrant. I didn't show up to my court date in Utah, and I had a warrant for my arrest in Utah. I went to go get a license because I lost my wallet. Unfortunately, I left it on top of my car as I drove off from the gas station, and I lost my wallet. Even though I had an Apple AirTag in it, I could not retrieve it. So I had to, in 2020, I had to come back home. I lost my job. I lost literally everything. I told my girlfriend, I was like, look, I have to move back to Littlefield, Arizona. If you want to make this work, we can stay together. If not, unfortunately, we have to break up because, I can't live here. And she's like, no, you gotta do what you gotta do. So freaking, I was struggling to, pay bills and.
Has this since been resolved in Utah?
Oh,
It's still out
yes,
here,
it's 100%. Everything's now good. I'll get to that, but yeah, everything's all good now. Got my driver's license back, whatever. Anyways, but yeah, fast forward, freaking, dude, I could not physically pay my bills and like do everything I wanted. You know what I'm saying? So like this job, like let's bring it back to now, present now. This job is giving me everything.
I think this is the object. This is like
So like Deep Roots was my climax. Basically what I'm trying to say. Deep Roots was the point where freaking where I'm saying we're like before I even fucking started working at Deep Roots, I was like literally in the low of my life. You know what I'm saying? Then when I started like working at Deep Roots, like it started getting better and then since just 7 months ago, it's fucking taken off like a fucking rocket
That's
ship.
funny
Because freaking I switched from packaging to bartender.
That's funny because my life went almost
Money.
identical to that. When I got to Deep Roots, my life got better, and then it plummeted.
Really?
It tanked, bro.
Really?
COVID.
Yeah.
COVID is what changed, and right before COVID is when everything changed
Yeah.
because.
I hate to say it, but money's the big life changer.
I didn't know about that going in.
Yeah.
I came out to Nevada to come work for a dispensary.
Really?
Yes.
See,
Me and my ex were living in Texas for.
I came out to Nevada because I physically hated driving to fucking Utah originally for work. I knew that there would be cheaper, like I could drive to Mesquite and find a cheaper, way to drive my car and still get work. You know what I'm saying? And freaking, I didn't give a fuck about the money. I was super passionate about cannabis, and so freaking, I said, something's got to give, something's got to work. And here I am in the position I've always manifested to be in. I've always wanted to be a bartender. Like, literally, I've always wanted to be a bartender.
Dream job.
And it literally is my dream job.
Mine too.
Literally, I go to work every day. I'm like, I fucking love my job. I don't hate my job. I fucking,
They're definitely harsh.
I like everyone there. I literally do like everyone there. There's only one or two people I don't like.
The only downside that I would say for that I have with the job is that it's very emotionally draining.
It's very emotionally draining. It's very repetitive. It's like, hi, how can I help you? Hi, how can I help you?
I don't even mind that.
Yeah, but now you're nitpicking.
You know,
It's like
yeah,
serious.
I've done
It's
phone
like,
jobs
dude.
where there was fucking that are not.
Yeah, but that is a pretty crazy story that you just kind of laid out. If you think about it, just everything, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's either some Machiavellian, like next level social engineering shit, where you pull that off to get into that position, or you're just lucky as fuck.
Yeah.
Like
the universe. Well,
either way,
I would say
props.
It's Providence, bro.
Yeah.
Either way, props. Because that could have been like your subconscious could be that insanely, you know, attuned that you could have pulled it off, just not even consciously.
I think it's amazing for you to have the karma that you have, because honestly, like when I talk to you about my life, you're like, oh man, I've been in like a whole lot of situations like that. But you talk about you've been with the same person for
9.5 years.
9.5 years.
Yes, that's
High school fucking sweethearts.
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing. You know how low a chance that is that happens?
Well, that's freaking like, super low chance. And the thing is, like, me and my girl, we're dedicated to making it work. And you gotta have two people that are willing. First of all, you gotta have two people that are willing. And you gotta have two people that are willing to make a change no matter what. Like, I even asked her if she would be willing to move here. She said no, that's okay, because she doesn't like this area and her family is not here. She's a big family person, but I'm a big family person too, so why can't we make a compromise? You know what I'm saying? We have talked about that. The compromise would be Denver, but it's very fucking dangerous in Denver and very expensive. So it's like,
also like if she's a family person, then it's like
person too. It's like, damn.
If the next step is then you start your own family.
Yeah. It's just like right now, the way her woman thing is right now, and she says we have issues right now. I don't know why.
She says you have issues?
No, we have issues. PCOS.
Oh.
It's like some woman issue. I don't know if we can't like have a baby right now. I don't know why. It's like some like woman. I don't know. Like some type of like internal issue. I don't know.
I'm curious about that.
It's called PCOS. I don't know. It's like.
What is PCOS?
I forgot. Anyways, but freaking.
Polycystic ovary syndrome.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a hormone imbalance.
Yeah.
That can be fixed.
That can be fixed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
anyways,
not bad.
You can take hormones for that.
Let's get it up.
Shit, another 5 months, dude. CRISPR will be rewriting that shit.
You'll have genetic diseases broken out.
Yeah, dude, they've already done that with AIDS.
Next one, I think we'll probably.
It's not saying that me and my
Probably
girlfriend
something
don't
like
want kids.
sickle cell. You know what I mean?
I'm saying my
Like
girlfriend
something like that needs to be fucking engineered out. We need cures for shit like that. You know what I mean?
It's not saying me and my girlfriend don't want kids. We definitely. I don't want kids because I have.
You don't want kids at all.
Not been traumatized, but I've seen.
How some people are with their kids, or what?
I have just seen how some people are with their kids and just how some kids act and just how some kids are. And it's not saying that I don't want that. I do want kids. It's just I would just raise them very different.
And you're 29?
I'm 29 years old. It's not saying I do want kids.
Your morals will change.
I do.
Well, no.
Not morals, not like that. But like the way you know what? Nothing will change the way you view parenting with becoming a parent.
Yeah.
Because you feel like you have some idea of how you're gonna raise those kids.
Well, here's the thing, man. And it's follow me on this theory, but 29 years old, man. That's just right at the generation where it's kind of like we've heard the entire story, and it's kind of like you've been one of the few that have slipped through and made it.
Yeah.
Okay. What about all the people you left for in California? What if you're still sucking little foot, like building fences?
Yeah.
I mean, you cosmically just got blessed, dude.
Yeah.
So you gotta acknowledge that. But other than that, your generation is pretty much cooked.
I know it is.
Okay, so
Dude,
hear me.
We're the same generation, are we not? Or freaking.
He's a little bit past you.
Pretty much.
Are you 98?
97.
It's the same shit. We're freaking
I call us I call that 3 years the 96, 97, 98. We're the forgotten generation, man.
You know what generations are actually not by birth, it's by the year you graduate high school.
Is it really?
I've heard, well, all that shit.
I've heard it bounces back and forth,
Yeah.
but it's my philosophy for sure that, like...
I thought we were...
But to get back, so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, honestly.
Just around your generation, though, you guys are pretty much cooked. Because you guys were told the same bullshit that my generation was told. Where it's like, hey, go to work, go to school, then you go to college, then you go get a job, then you're gonna work and you're gonna get paid, you're gonna do well, and then you guys
retire, you're gonna live.
Yeah, you did all that shit, and then you got out of high school, and then the world's like, nah, dude, fuck this. You want to go to college? It's $800,000 a month. It's like, what? And you got to pay off a student loan for 45 years.
See, that's why.
And your kids will be paying off your loans. So you guys didn't go. So after you guys is these 20-year-old kids that are kind of in that middle ground where they're seeing you guys like, oh man, they're fucked. Okay, my son's that age, so they see it, dude. They're like, you guys are fucked. I don't want to be like them.
Well, there are people that have done really well for themselves. Like my cousin, she just got her doctorate, and she's gonna do freaking.
But she's the last of a dying breed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah.
What I'm saying is like we needed that 18, that when you were that age, 18, but just breaking your back, building fences, like doing slavery work, crazy hard work. We need those young kids to kind of see everything that's going on and be like a hero generation. That's like, fuck it, I don't have ADHD, I don't have PTSD, I don't have shit. I've got to like get things on track. I've got to get things going. Like just, no excuses type generation. We need that kind of.
Yeah, but
we need that. I'm not saying we have it. I'm saying we need it.
We've been talking.
We fucking need it, dude.
The way that we as a society view kids, that's how they've been looking at kids. You can look back through history. They've been saying the same thing about kids as a society for centuries, since at least the 18th century. I was just watching a video about this today, actually. And he was going back through newspaper articles, 1863. That's how far back he went. Socrates. Then you go back and look at their shit, and they're like, yeah, this generation's too soft. They're too involved in blah, 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 blah. They don't blah, 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 It's like, I get it, because obviously I have my daughter. The kids nowadays, it does seem different than when we were kids. But the real reality of the situation is, like, the childhood you had does not exist.
Yo, I know that, but like,
and it will never exist again.
There are parents that are my age that 100% believe that shit still exists. Like, that's the problem.
It doesn't though.
Well, go explain it to them for me, because
I know, man. When I get
if they don't listen to me and I'm their own age.
This is just for me, because of the way my body works and the way I am. I couldn't physically fucking put myself through college because, bro, with my learning disabilities and just the way my autism is, my ADHD, and my freaking, just the way I learn, just the way I retain information, I couldn't physically put myself through college. You know what I'm saying? I knew I wouldn't do good. So, personally for me, college was not an option, okay? If I wanted to get, a higher education, I would go to a trade school because I learn better with my hands on. I can grab this thing, look at it, and be like, okay, I know how this works in 5 fucking minutes. You know what I'm saying? I'm a hands-on type of guy. You know what I'm saying? That's just
no.
To a trade school if to learn something to rent, like a mechanic or something to like that's what I would like to I feel like everyone should. Look at that or take,
We kind of talked about that a little bit in one of our last episodes where I was telling a lot of the youth to...
You don't have to go to college.
No, I'm saying fuck all that, dude. Look, man, things are going to get so crazy.
Yeah.
They're going to get so fucked up.
Yeah.
That, dude, if I was your age or my son's age or, you know, just back in my 20s, and I remember there was, dude, I had a friend that was talking about going to Alaska to work in the gold mining industry.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, man, that sounds crazy. Why don't we go down to Mexico and work as tour guides or just the most insane, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, do that crazy shit. Everyone has that guy they know that's all doing that shit, and they're having the time of their lives.
Yeah.
And you're in there cranking away on your 9 to 5, dude.
Yeah.
Like, just go out and do it. Just go do it. Do it.
I know, it's deep.
Do it, but that's the thing. It's like every time people like I need, like the second they say I need or I can't or I will or no, it's like, oh
Just
shit.
do it.
Yeah, just
And don't make excuses.
I when I landed the last time I went to Colombia, or the first time I entered Colombia, dude, I had $400 on me, and I had to cash out $200 right there just to get the fuck out of the airport.
Why?
Because that's all the fucking money I had. Dude, I landed, I had a ticket, and I was like, alright, you know, I can get a hotel for a week, but I gotta figure shit out from there.
Yeah.
It's like, that was, and I was so used to it, it was fun, you know? Like, that's the type of shit I would do for fun. It's like, go on, you know, do something crazy. That's
Definitely, I'm definitely with like go with the universe gives you.
yeah.
I'm definitely a yes man. Like if the
I
universe
think you follow it great, man, because it landed you.
clearly you've done well for yourself. With that one, man.
I don't know, I just think that I have just met the right people and I just have become very lucky and I don't know, I don't know. I feel like Mesquite treated me well and I don't want to leave, but freaking there will be a time and point where I have to leave, you know?
And you know maybe there's another time when you come back.
Yeah.
You know the great thing about this area, man, is that anytime I've left, I somehow always end up back out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you leave on good terms, man. There's no way they wouldn't take
I lived
you
in
back.
good terms. I lived in good terms in 2018, you know, in Mesquite. Like, I lived in good terms here. I'm saying I worked at, you know, Mesquite, whatever, but yeah, whatever. But, like, I only had very few attendance points where work, and I bet you if I put in my 2 weeks now, I'm 100% sure I could be reapplied. You know, I'm very hireable.
Oh, 100%. If you put 2 weeks in, yeah.
I believe 90%, no, about 75% of the people that work in our department right now, if they left on good terms, they'd be able to come back.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Just because of the fact that, well, everyone on our team really kicks ass.
Yeah.
There's really no.
I think, dude, we're pulling, like, I think the crew that came in with me, all these new people, like, they're now starting to crank out tips. Like,
there's some people I feel like that need to like. I don't want to talk about work gossip on here on my end. The last thing that I need is more bullshit. But the honest to God reality of it is, I think that everybody should be proficient in every aspect of the business when it comes to being in the department that you're in.
Yeah.
well, the other thing, though, is you were talking about, at some point, yeah, maybe it might come to it where I have to leave, but that's probably related to your girl, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And would that be you going to Cali?
No, it's gonna go to Missouri, pal.
Yeah, I'm going to Missouri.
That's where she's at?
She lives in Missouri now.
Oh,
She sold her house for $1.4 million.
okay.
Yeah, so now she lives in Missouri.
Oh, shit, you buy like a fucking ranch in Missouri.
She already bought her mom and dad already bought the house. It's $440,000 and it's an upstairs, downstairs too. Her fucking house is beautiful, dude. It's like, see how many bedrooms is upstairs? There's
I hope when I'm down there and it's gonna be able
There's
to
2 bedrooms
come
upstairs,
visit you
there's
guys.
2 bedrooms down, there's like 3 bedrooms downstairs, but the 2 bedrooms aren't even unfinished. But freaking when my girlfriend's, you know, of course when my girlfriend's passed away.
When do you think you're probably gonna be trying to leave?
Probably like next year. Like honestly, my goal is to be out of here by next July. That's really cool.
It would be really good for. Oh, by the way, D&D is going to be a Friday thing as well. So you're more than welcome to come play. I told Zach that you would come play. So
Okay.
it'll be you, me, and Caleb as players. So there'd be 3 of us as the players for the party. It'll be smaller than the one that I run, but better.
Okay.
Better than in the eyes of the fact that it won't take us. It takes us 15 minutes to get through a round of combat. In my game. Because it's 15, it's, you know what I mean? There's 5 people at the table, plus the DM. 6 players at the table is a lot. 6 heads at the table is a lot, but I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. But I'm also really looking forward to being a player. I haven't been a player in years. So
That's true, man.
You have any other questions?
actually I was just gonna tie everything back around, and I was just gonna say, just to tie it all back together with obviously you've kind of walked down the path of like your intuition, that guidance, that feeling, beyond. I would say people, follow that, and that will end up leading to you being what you want to see in the world.
Yeah.
Just be yourself, be unique.
Like this is like my aspirations, my goals. Eventually one day, I do want to become. I do want to have my own cannabis company, but I do not want to be what near Deep Roots Harvest would be or is going to be. I want to be like a hash maker, or I want to be like a person who actually washes hash or creates the strains.
What if you open a spot out here?
A kitchen, then. Yeah, you're not even. That's not so much cannabis.
Horticulture or something taking one piece of one plant and genetically creating new strains and doing that shit.
Oh, splicing?
Yeah,
that's a bitch, but I've done
At
that.
that point, you're talking about having your own brand.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I have my own small little cannabis brand and pushing small limited batches of rosin out and the top tier shit and freaking.
We should just manifest that you open one out here.
It's hard, bro. Cause the CCB out here is very fucking shit.
It'll be you.
You need a lot of fucking money to start a cannabis business out here.
What if we had it?
Huh?
What if we had it?
Dude, fucking then
I would help you.
It'll be pitching.
I would get started.
It'll be pitching. We already have seeds right here. We already have somewhere to go. I'm just kidding. Just put you on the fucking spot like that. Just put you on the spot like that. We already have a hookup right here. I'm just
He's
kidding.
definitely the guy that would be training all the growers. That's I'm
for sure.
I would pay him good money to do that.
For sure.
Well, the crazy thing
We
is
need good
that
strains to wash, though. We need good strains to wash.
between everyone that we all know, there would be enough people that if another place got put in, there would be enough people that would jump ship that would basically that get covered.
Right?
I mean, I don't know why they don't take that. I'm sure Deep Roots, if somebody came and threatened something like that, they would all of a sudden we would get like double our salaries.
Okay, let's say if another person comes in here with $20 million to the city of Mesquite and proposes a new dispensary, Mesquite City will say no. You know why?
Dude, I'll just run for mayor.
You know why?
I'll just run for mayor.
Do you know why the city
Why
of
the
Mesquite
fuck
would say
don't
no?
one of us?
Because
Run for mayor?
Yeah.
I'll do it.
the city of Mesquite wants Mesquite.
So yeah, I mean,
the city wants this area to be like how Vegas used to be, nice and quiet. So that's why. I know.
Look around. You got 6 housing developments happening in the neighborhood.
I know. But I think that's why they won't let another one open up until this.
No, do you know why there's another one that doesn't open up?
Why?
It's the same reason that there's only one leased liquor store in the town.
Really? Why?
They lobby the fuck out of it.
Oh shit.
They lobby the fuck out of it.
Really?
well,
So if one of us,
well, if you were to do it,
basically,
just build it in fucking Littlefield.
I feel like if I ran for mayor, just because
Build it in Littlefield. You know, you're dealing with Arizona state laws, which are much more lenient.
Yeah, but the thing is, in order to get
then you know exactly what Deep Roots would do.
Yeah, but
They would lobby that. They would have cops sitting there on that fucking Nevada border.
how would
They couldn't. Yeah, they couldn't do that.
how could cars be shipped from Phoenix all the way to Littlefield because they have to stay in the state of Arizona?
You can't. That's the whole reason why you'd have to grow.
What would Phoenix have to do with anything?
You can't transfer it. How you gonna get it from How are you going to get it from Flagstaff, Arizona to Littlefield, Arizona?
Because you obviously have to pass through Nevada in order to get frickin' from my little.
The only lifeline connection to Littlefield, Arizona is the I-15.
Is the I-15, yes, literally.
No,
And the
okay, but
the same intersection.
Yeah.
the idea is that you would put in a small grow that basically takes care of everything,
Okay, yeah,
like
that's
right
fine.
there, right?
That's fine,
Like
but grows are expensive.
a small dispensary.
Grows are expensive, and I'm pretty sure that Arizona is like anything fully licensed.
Don't know
or
what the
legal.
laws are.
It's
Don't know
gonna
what Arizona's
cost
laws
a lot
are. I don't know
of
if they're
money.
like...
No, it would be.
Yeah, it's
That's
gonna cost a
why
lot of fucking money.
it
It
is, and it's,
Yeah, but-
you would need a lot of expertise in it.
Yeah.
You would need. We've talked about it a lot with all the growers and everything like that. We just said, look, if anyone had the capital to do it, it's easily possible.
Right.
It's putting money into something like that.
Yeah.
How much money?
I know.
And I've heard rumors from people in the back saying it's not so much putting in a place, buying the land, putting in the utility, the facilities, putting in the, just basically the infrastructure and the actual structures. It's the paperwork and the processing and
It's
the
the same.
filing.
The licensing is...
You're paying lawyers to do stupid crap.
The licensing process for getting a license to sell cannabis legally in Nevada.
You realize the application fee is $5,000, and the
And they deny it, like,
There's a limited number of licenses for the whole state, so you have to buy out someone else's license.
and in order to renew, it's $30,000. I think it's like, dude, it's so expensive for the licenses and for the fee, and freaking, it's like, dude, it's so much money. I looked up online. In order for our business to be open open right now, they have to have $250,000 in cash liquidity at all times. So freaking, in order to have the front door open, they have to have $250,000 liquidity. I looked that up. You can look it up on Google. Freaking,
I believe it.
in order to apply for the license, it's $5,000. And it's fucking like so much money every year to renew it, and freaking they're so fucking expensive. The retail license is expensive to sell, the manufacturer's license, the distributing license, the retail license, the warehouse license, every fucking license you have to buy, and they're freaking expensive. And if you get denied, you don't get that money back because it's a deposit, you know what I'm saying? And then just the way everything works is just super fucking
mob, bro.
Yeah, dude, it's just super
The
fucking
CCB is a fucking mob.
Yeah.
well, if you were to go out and move out with your girl, what would you work in?
I would actually honestly be working with my homeboy's company. I won't say the name, but it is literally a husband and a wife that own the grow and squish the rosin. So it's a very small team, maybe like 10, 15 people. They would be wanting me out there, you know.
You already talked to him
I've
about
already talked to them. It's actually in the works. I just have to be out there and physically show them what I know and if I can do my job there, basically. And
Have you pressed before?
I have pressed, yes, I have pressed flower rosin, yeah.
Well, us at 3-Star Review wish you the best of luck with your journey to the next year.
I have not done ice water extraction, but I have done
And everything with that. I did want to ask you something. If there's anything that you've seen or anything recently that you've watched or listened to that you wanted to recommend to the next guest, point blank period, that's something that you don't know who this next guest is going to be, but they are going to get told what you wanted them to look up. What is it? Google it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Anything.
Anything. They have to know this thing. This is something, it's a must know. It can be in whatever form that you want, but this is something that they need to know.
Serious or silly or
However you want it.
yeah. It could be like who has the best waffles in the U.S.
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be.
Like
Honestly, anywhere that you think it's an essential thing, hey, look this shit up. Look this up.
No, there's one person that's kind of like helped me out and just like this. It's just like a YouTuber I've watched like throughout the years. It's like 10 years I've been watching this guy.
What's their name?
His name is Roman Atwood. He used to be a prankster. He does
sounds familiar.
he does vlogs on YouTube now. Has I think it's like real life Roman on YouTube. But basically, I've been watching this guy for freaking like 10 years plus. He's very uplifting. He basically just motivates you and freaking tells you to get up off your ass and freaking just go get it done, and freaking, I don't know. I've been watching this guy for a really long time, and it's just I think that's another reason I started the fire under my ass, because this guy just says, just get out there and do it. Don't fucking sleep, you know. And freaking the one day, you know, he says it in some certain type of way, and it just makes me freaking feel so good about it. And
I got a guy just like that.
I don't know, man. So I just like.
He's your hype guy.
He is my hype guy.
I got one just like
so
that.
So basically,
too.
I just like from my person to you, if you need that type of person in your life, go look up Roman Outlook on YouTube. Watch his vlogs. His wife, his kids, like they're all freaking great people. I think you guys would have a great time if you like those like family style, like motivational type of vlogs. I think you guys would really like.
All right, well, there's your plug. Look up Roman Atwood on YouTube.
He also has pranks on YouTube that are pretty freaking funny, of like 12, 13 years ago. They're pretty funny. But
Well, I want to thank Collin Deppe for being here with us on the 3-star review. We appreciate it.
3 stars, even like 5 stars.
Even though our 3rd star isn't here tonight.
What do you mean? I am the 3rd star, baby.
Oh,
That's fair. You maintain the status quo. But thank you very much, Colin.
I
And
appreciate you.
thank you
I'll
for
probably
coming
be
on.
back
It's
next
always
time.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to. Next week, I think I'm going to try to get the Chubby's guy here.
The Chubbies? Dude,
Yeah.
that would be fire.
I'm going to try to get the guy from Chubby's. But yeah, man. Check us out on Sundays and Wednesdays. 3-star review. Only up from here.
I have some of this stuff.